Hello, my name is Yolanda Castaneda, and I will talk to you about my third project. It's a movie, science fiction blender. I named it The Lighting. The Lighting is about a man that is rich for a lighting. After that, his life changes and begins to perform surgeries without incisions, not only to humans. Okay. We have characters. Four. I think the protagonist is Kenneth. Kenneth is an observant man on science and nature from Peru. He enjoys waking up at 4 a.m. to watch the sunrise and meditate on life experiences. And then we have Ekbal, Kenneth's son. He is 35 years old with a strong body and blue eyes. Then we have Steven. Steven is a young French tourist, about 25 years old, who was on vacation in the region, but in the last few days he had several stomach ache. Then we have Sham, an extremely thin man with very white skin and very white hair, with long hands and enormous blue eyes. Well, Kenneth has a habit to visit sacred sites around his country. On this time, Kenneth decided to visit the Nikunka mountain along with his son Ekbal. This mountain represents to Kenneth a hope, energy, and connection symbols with the universe. There are a camp of paramedics and hiking guides who are constantly assisting people, warning them about weather change and how to avoid it. Vinicunca Mountain is 5,300 meters above sea level. Kenneth and his son, who had climbed Vinicunca Mountain for many years, felt confident and began their ascent despite an approaching storm. Once at the top, at 5,000 meters above sea level, began to rain. Clothes were touching the ground and began to surround them. Suddenly, a loud crash was heard, followed by a white black light that struck Kenneth. Afterward, Kenneth collapsed to the ground. Ekbal, frightened, descended about 1,000 meters to the first emergency station. The first aid quickly climbed up to help him and found Kenneth without vital signs. The paramedics took to Kenneth to the hospital, where he was unconscious for 3 days. After 3 days, Kenneth opened his eyes with no apparent injuries. On the fourth day that Kenneth was in the hospital, received a visit from Stephen. Stephen arrived crying. The pain was very evident. Please help me, Stephen shouted. This pain in my stomach is terrible. After a few minutes, Stephen got peace and started telling Kenneth that police had told him to look for Kenneth to relieve his stomach ache. Kenneth told Stephen that he could perform the surgery and agreed to meet him at his house the next day. Early the next morning, Stephen arrived. Kenneth laid him down the dining table, and as he was about to run his hand over Stephen's stomach, he noticed someone standing beside Kenneth. He was Sham, who mentally sent him information telling him, "Don't be afraid. I will assist you during the surgery." Kenneth couldn't understand how he could receive information from Sham without hearing a single word. Following this, Kenneth ran his hand over Stephen's stomach and pulled out a kind of roasted piece of meat. After that, Stephen got up and left the room completely healthy. When Stephen left the room, Sham told Kenneth that he needed surgery right away. When Kenneth began the surgery, his hands filled with a kind of bright blue viscous liquid. His fingers seemed to have a connection to Sham's body. Kenneth moved his hands around to not understanding what was happening. Sham had a fever and his body appeared to having an allergic reaction, and it was covered in small spots, in small red spots. His body began to tremble, and after that, Sham fainted. "Oh no!" exclaimed Kenneth. "Maybe Sham died." After a few minutes, Sham woke up and thanked Kenneth. What Sham needed was a reconnection with his human essence. Since he had chosen to live in here in human form, there were no extraterrestrial doctors on here. After that, Kenneth and Sham went out to the backyard to enjoy a delicious cup of tea. It was a pleasantly sunny day, and they shared stories from the wars, and a beautiful friendship began between a human struck by lightning and an extraterrestrial who had decided to live on Earth.